introduce myself. My name is Ho. H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes by the OC. I guess even back
Hello, fans of all ages. We are indeed the Beasts of the East. Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson coming to you live from Studio A here at Ramapo College of New Jersey in Mahwah, New Jersey on WRPR 90.3 FM. Thank you for tuning in on this Wednesday, October 21st, 2015. You know what today is, Scott?
Mets might clinch.
I wasn't really going that, but today's
Oh.
Back to the Future Day.
You know, I've never seen Back to the Future.
Really?
I swear.
I saw it. I saw the first one once because it was a class, so it wasn't really up to me.
Yeah. See, I can't watch it on my spare time. I like watching like movies now. Like I've never watched Breakfast Club.
Right.
I've never watched Back to the Future. I've never watched. What else is there?
Yeah,
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing I've never seen. Yeah, all those movies.
Fast
Have you-
Times, Rich Man.
Ferris Bueller?
I've seen Ferris Bueller.
Okay.
I have, but I don't like watching old movies. I don't know why.
I've seen so many posts today. It's Back to the Future Day.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I don't.
It's cool.
It
Like,
is.
it'll
It
never
is
happen
cool.
again.
Yeah, it won't
but,
happen again. Yeah, but
relax.
yeah, I could care less. Honestly, sorry for the people that do.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But you are right about one thing.
The Mets can clinch tonight.
The Mets, the New York Mets, are one game away from their first World Series appearance since the year 2000. 15 years since their last appearance, 9 years since their last postseason appearance, 29 years since their last World Series victory. And who would have thunk it? Back in March or April, what was the main thing that every Met fan wanted? Meaningful games in September, right? That's really all they
Absolutely,
wanted.
and that's what they got.
Oh, they got more than that, all right?
They got more than that. It's more like they were gearing up for the postseason
Yep.
a few weeks before the season ended, and that's awesome. They were just looking for maybe a wild card game, like a couple wins to get into the wild card game. No, you were gearing up for the division series.
Their main goal was probably, be within like 2 or 3 games of a wild card spot in
Yeah.
September?
Probably.
Basically what the Yankees did the last 2 years.
Okay, look where you're at now.
Unbelievable.
This is the most meaningful game, probably. Even if they don't win, every game is going to be
Yep.
so hectic.
And how many times have we said, this is the Mets' most important game of the year? This is the most important game of the year. This is the most important Mets game since that day 9 years ago.
They can go on a 5-game win streak in the postseason.
In the postseason.
If they win
That's
tonight.
unbelievable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's just amazing how this team's putting all these wins together. Daniel Murphy with another home run last night.
Unbelievable.
That's what did you say? 5?
That's now
5th straight.
That's now 5 games in a row.
That's amazing. He's got a .417 batting average, 3 home runs, 4 RBIs in this series alone.
Unbelievable. Now, let's talk about Daniel Murphy. Shout out to my 11-year-old cousin Andrew for giving us this idea last night. Who is more of a postseason hero? Daniel Murphy right now or Madison Bumgarner this year? And you know what? The answer right now is Madison Bumgarner.
You mean of last year's postseason?
No, of this season, of this year. I'm kidding.
You said this year. That's why I said.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you said this
well,
year.
yeah, Madison Bumgarner of 2014 or Daniel Murphy right now. And it's Madison Bumgarner because why? He got the ring. It's that simple. Madison Bumgarner was lights out from the wild card game in early October to Game 7 of the World Series last year against the Royals. He was lights out. He won World Series MVP. It wasn't NLCS. Daniel Murphy, without a doubt, the NLCS MVP, no question about it. But, and is he a postseason hero right now? Absolutely. Who knows where the Mets would be right now? I think the Mets would probably still win. They still would have won last series, and I think they would still be up this series because the Mets are dominating the Chicago Cubs in every aspect of the game. But without Madison Bumgarner, the Giants would not have won the World Series last year.
But, I mean, I'm actually going to disagree with you here. I'm going to actually say – I know last night I did say Madison Bumgarner when we were watching the Devils game. But I'm going to say Daniel Murphy for the fact that Daniel Murphy has just exploded in this postseason. And you were saying, yes, is he a postseason hero? He is a postseason hero. that home run in Game 5
Yep.
off of Clayton Kershaw. Was it off Clayton Kershaw? No. It was off of
The one in Game 5 wasn't.
Sorry. It was off of Greinke, right?
Yeah.
That's a 3-2 game. He won that game for them. He's winning games when he needs to be clutch.
Right.
And even when he doesn't have to be clutch, he's boosting his team with these home runs. So I'm going to say Daniel Murphy right now because he's playing every night and producing for his team, creating wins.
Good point with playing every night, but we're going to remember Madison Bumgarner forever.
Well, absolutely. I mean, he did break tons of World Series records.
Exactly.
Low ERA and all that.
If the Mets lose, odds of them losing this series are slim to none. Let's say they don't even win the World Series. How many people are going to remember Daniel Murphy? Not
Okay,
many.
you do make a good point there. But I'm saying if they do win the World Series, you're saying ifs. If they do,
If they win the World Series,
he's going to get MVP for this postseason without a doubt.
it's NLCS MVP and World Series MVP. They don't have a full
I'm saying
postseason.
in my head, in the
right.
fans' head, he's going to get the postseason MVP because of how he's producing every night. If he just keeps going on this warpath
Right.
that he's on right now, who knows what will happen in the World Series? Like you said, it's slim to none. I don't see the Mets leaving Chicago without a World Series berth.
Right.
But I just think that right now, Daniel Murphy playing every night, producing for his team, rallying his teammates behind him, is more than Madison Bumgarner pitching once a night.
Right.
What they do, a 3-man rotation?
They did a 3-man rotation, and Bumgarner threw. I don't remember if they did a 3-man rotation.
They
last
did,
year.
actually. I remember.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, Bumgarner came into Game 7, and Ned Yost thought that he was going to see Bumgarner for an inning, 2 innings at most. He threw 5 shutout innings on, was it 1 or 2 day rest? I think it was 1 day rest. I think he started Game 5, was lights out.
Well, I don't know why Nost. Wow.
Yet a Nost.
Ned Yost was thinking that. This is the last game of the season. Sorry, but I'll throw out my arm a little bit, and it might be sore the next couple days, but if we win a ring, that's the bottom line. But keep going with what you were saying.
I just think it's Bumgarner because as insane as this might sound, I don't think the Cubs are worrying about who do you fear more, Daniel Murphy now or Madison Bumgarner of last year? Do you think Daniel Murphy?
See, that's hard because you have to look at it like pitchers actually have to pitch around Daniel Murphy now.
Yeah.
You have to pitch around him. He got intentionally walked in the division series. Actually, this series.
Face Yoenis.
To face Yoenis Cespedes.
Yoenis.
Who has a .308 batting average in this series.
Yeah.
But if you want to compare the two, who would you fear more? Obviously, you're going to fear Madison Bumgarner more because
you have to face him 3 times and...
Yeah. But, I mean, especially when you're playing in the World Series where every game there's such a big platform, such a big stage that you have to win each game. But I don't know. It's hard to say because you have to face Murphy every night, and you don't have to face Bumgarner every night. You can make your wins without facing Bumgarner. So that's why I'm going to stick with Daniel Murphy this year I think is a bigger deal than Madison Bumgarner last year.
Ryan Morrick, Scott Thompson, Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM. Call in, feel free, 201-825-1234. That's 201-825-1234. And I'm just going to go back to what I said before. Madison Bumgarner got his team the World Series ring. I mean, let's take a look at I think Mariano Rivera won the ALCS MVP in 2003. It was either 99 or 2003. I can't remember. But how many times do we remember who? I'm basically proving my point. How often do you remember LCS MVPs?
Exactly. You're obviously going to focus on the World Series because that's the last series. That's the one you're going to remember.
Now, if Daniel Murphy keeps us up in the World Series, I might change my mind.
Absolutely.
Do I think he will? No. But if he does, then I might change my mind.
Like you said, Madison Bumgarner will go down in history because he's broken all these records. Most wins in the World Series. Lowest ERA in the World Series.
Right.
We could say that for maybe like Jacob deGrom in the World Series. Like we don't know who's gonna produce in the World Series this year. So,
what do you think is harder to do? What Bumgarner did or what Murphy is doing?
What Murphy's doing. I'm sorry, but it's so hard for a hitter to keep a streak like this, to constantly change and swing momentum toward their own side.
5 games in a row.
5 games in a row, he's hit a home run. Do you know how hard that is, especially in a pressure-packed situation? He's away.
Let alone
he's in
5
Chicago.
hits.
Exactly. Madison Bumgarner, yeah. You pitch, that's your craft. That's what you do every night. But it's harder for a hitter to face.
It's harder for a hitter to hit than a pitcher to pitch.
Exactly. And I've always said that. Pitchers, yes,
they have every
can get away
advantage
with
ever.
stuff. But
Right.
hitters can't get away with things, and you're facing different pitchers every night. You're facing different stuff. So what Daniel Murphy's doing, he's got to be in the film room watching all these pitchers. He's got to be working hard, getting cuts, extra tee work. You know, it's a struggle. It's a I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but like you said, it's harder.
It's a grind.
Yeah,
It's more
it's
of
a
a
grind.
grind.
It's harder for a hitter to hit than a pitcher to pitch, in my opinion.
That's
and
that's
coming from a pitcher. I used to pitch
Right.
mostly in high school, and that's
which more helps you out because
yeah. But
yeah, that's where I agree with you.
pitchers can get
definitely.
away with stuff sometimes. So
That's where I agree with you definitely because even when I pitch, if I see someone chasing a curveball of mine, I'm going to throw it again because that's the advantage I have. If you're the hitter, I mean, think about it. As a hitter, you're meant to fail. You fail 7 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer.
exactly.
So, what's harder, Daniel Murphy, without question. But the hero, I would go Bumgarner because the main goal is the ring, and Madison Bumgarner did it. Again, if the Mets win this World Series, and Murphy's doing what he's doing, then I might change my mind because this is we were at the Devil game last night and we got the update Murphy home run and we couldn't.
We turned around right away. There was a TV right behind us, and we were like, "What? What just happened?"
We're more surprised about Murphy than we are Bumgarner. Like it's funny how I'm agreeing with everything you are saying about Murphy, but I still think Bumgarner.
Yeah, because it is the World Series.
Because it is the World Series.
I absolutely agree with you with that. But I'm saying right now, if you were to go with Daniel Murphy right now, if you were to drop him in the World Series of what he's doing, I'd go with Daniel Murphy in a heartbeat. And we'll see what happens. Because, like I said, I don't see the Mets losing this series.
Now, speaking of the series, let's take a look at tonight and possible games 5, 6, and 7. The Mets have to win this series in Chicago, I think. I think they have to win the next 2 games. Do I think that if they lose the next 2 games, they would lose the series? No. But I think if you're the Mets, you can't give the Cubs a thought that they have a chance to win this series. If the Cubs win the next 2 in a row, then you're going back to Citi Field. You have to try to get momentum all the way back. And you'll get momentum right away because the Citi Field crowd will be insane. Their first series clincher since the 2000 NLCS, I believe. So the crowd's obviously going to be into it. And then, what was I just lost my track of thought. But I think that you can't give the Cubs the mindset that we're still in this thing. Because the Cubs, as badly have they been playing, they've been outplayed in every aspect.
Absolutely.
They are a dangerous, dangerous team.
And that's why I want to cut you off and say something pretty insane. You can give them the game 7. I don't think the Mets would give away the series. Because of the pitching, because of the hitting, the Mets are better than the Cubs. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. Did we say this at the beginning of the postseason? No, because we didn't know what was going to happen. But the Mets have showed that they're the best team in the National League.
Yeah.
Hands down. So, honestly, if you were to jump forward, if you were to give the Cubs 3 games and walk into Game 7 with Jacob deGrom on the mound versus Jake Arrieta.
And deGrom would throw Game 7. Arrieta probably wouldn't. Arrieta is lined up to throw. When did he throw? Game 2?
Yeah.
They're going 4-man rotation. He would throw Game 6.
Game 6. So what I'm saying is if you were to give them till Game 7, I still don't even see the Mets losing this series. But it doesn't mean anything because, like you said, you can't give the Cubs – you can't let the Cubs walk out of Chicago. And it's not going to happen. It's either going to go tonight with Steven Matz or tomorrow night with Matt Harvey on the mound. You're not going to see – the Cubs walking out of this unscathed.
You think the Mets win one of the next 2 games?
Absolutely. If it's not tonight because we saw that Matz was a little shaky.
Which is completely reasonable because this is Matz's biggest game of his career.
I just don't see, the Mets walking out of Chicago without a playoff berth. And going on to Steven Matz, tonight with him, just let him sit back, let him do what he has to do, because your team is not leaving Chicago without that berth. So pitch well, don't even worry about it. You're up 3-0. Your team's producing runs, so you don't have to worry about that. If he gives up 2 runs, so what? Keep him in the game, let him go innings. You don't need to further your bullpen. You have Daniel Murphy to hit a 5-run home run, probably. He'll make it happen.
He'd hit the 5-run solo shot, actually. But, yeah, the Cubs are a dangerous team. The Mets cannot let the Chicago go back to Queens and try to win the series there. Have you seen the comparisons between – because yesterday was the 11 – it was either today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was the 11th anniversary that the Red Sox completed the comeback against the Yankees. Yeah. Have you seen the comparisons that they've been showing?
To who though? Like between
this year's Cubs team and the 2004 Red Sox team.
Really? They're making that comparison? Right?
Think about it, okay? 2004, who was the GM of the Red Sox?
Oh, Theo
Epstein is the GM now.
Okay.
These are all just weird. Like it's like Lyndon and Kennedy.
Weird coincidence.
Johnson, stuff like that. Manny Ramirez is on the Red Sox. He's in the farm system of the Cubs. What else is there? A team from New York. There was another one.
They were up 3-0 probably.
Up 3-0 on the road. It's a lot of weird conspiracies. I mean, that doesn't mean that it's bound to happen.
I don't care.
Doesn't mean that it's bound to happen, but
we'll wait till the ninth inning and see if a pinch runner steals second. Then maybe I can make.
Then we'll think about it.
Yeah.
But what I hate though, and this is when I'm gonna feel really bad for Met fans, but at the same time, I'm not gonna feel bad for them. If the Cubs win tonight, how many Met fans are really going to be in full-out panic mode?
I don't think one should be.
They shouldn't be.
Are they going to be in
panic mode? But
it's
the Mets.
No. It's not just because it's the Mets. You can't even talk about that anymore
But Met fans are thinking about 2016 without Daniel Murphy already when they're 1 win away from their World Series.
You showed me that today. I looked at your Twitter today. I saw that. They're already worrying about what's going to happen. How about you worry about now? How about you worry about whether your team's going to produce tonight instead of producing in May of 2016? Who cares?
There was the night of the Utley slide. There was like one of those big fan accounts, like of all like one of those amazing Army Met fan accounts.
Yeah.
He or she tweeted something about the slide. I'm going to try to find it. By any chance, do you remember what day it was?
What do you mean?
That slide. Do you remember what night it was? It was
no.
It was the 10th.
I don't remember what night that was.
Because it was the Saturday night I was in Green Bay.
No, but they definitely need to focus on the series at hand. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead.
It was at Shea Dugout. So at Shea Dugout, if you're listening out of nowhere, feel free to call in and let me know how you feel about this. This was the night of the Chase Utley slide, when the Mets were up in the series 1-0. It takes it takes 9 years to make it to the postseason, and fans can't enjoy it because at MLB cannot enforce its own rules. Thanks for nothing.
Really?
Thanks for nothing. The Mets were winning the series 1-0. That's how the Met fan thinks. So I tweeted back, I said, it's not over yet. Met fans are too quick to just give up this easily. It's Harvey versus Anderson on Monday in Game 3. And then this person replied back to me, we should be talking about what players do on the field, not how MLB made a mockery of the game, which I agreed, but he said, thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing?
That's right.
It was Game 2. If the Mets clinch tonight, I'm going to tweet back to this guy, quote, thanks for nothing, and I really want to see what he has to say. Because that is the Met fan mentality. And I get it. Your team is just very unlucky. And you know what? If the Mets were to collapse this series, that's the kind of thing that would happen to the Mets. And the Yankees, of course, back in 2004. But the Red Sox were really good, actually. And I want to get to that in a minute. We can do our own little comparison also.
Yeah.
thanks for nothing. It was.
You want to say that now? I think he should not even be wearing Mets gear anymore. Look, thanks for nothing. You're up 3-0 in the championship series. You're talking about you're up game 1 in the divisional series. You were up game 1 in the divisional series.
And that game wasn't even over.
I'm sorry. That's just.
But that's just being a
boner.
But Scott, that's how they think. One thing goes wrong, and they're in full panic mode. If the Mets lose tonight, we're gonna. I guarantee you.
Well, yeah, I guarantee.
We're gonna see a tweet.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
But
it's gonna happen.
Looking at it like a realistic fan and a realistic baseball standpoint, like I said, they're not leaving Chicago without a World Series berth. And get that through your head.
And if they do, you do. You have 2 times to win it at your own home field.
At your own home field with DeGrom and Syndergaard on the mound. Come on.
I mean, the odds of this happening
for the Cubs.
Again.
I don't even know why Joe Madden isn't waving a white flag right now, because his team is getting absolutely outscored, outpitched, outhit, outfielded, probably too.
Yep.
It's
been all Mets.
It's over. If you're a Mets fan, the series is over. Focus on the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I don't like looking ahead. I like going one game at a time, but look forward to the World Series because you're going to be in it.
Now let's talk about this 3-0 lead, and let's talk about the 0-4 3-0 lead, because both New York teams. I'm sorry, Met fans, we have to talk about it. It is a big deal.
We don't even like talking about it either.
Obviously,
I'm wearing my Yankee hat right now too. It's kind of a coincidence.
I can't watch the ending. You've seen? Have you seen Fever Pitch?
Yes.
I can't watch the ending of that.
They had a 30 for 30 actually on
4 days of October.
Yeah. My dad shut it off.
Yeah. I can't watch that. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't really remember it because I was only 9 years old. I remember them being up 3-0, and then I just remember the Red Sox winning the World Series. Like that week and a half is just blocked out in my mind for whatever reason. But the Red Sox had a much better shot of coming back than the Chicago Cubs do.
Absolutely.
Look at the Yankees rotation in 2004. Kevin Brown, a washed-up El Duque. I'm going to look it up. And then look at the Mets rotation. DeGrom, Syndergaard, Harvey, and Matz.
All under the age of 30.
Yep.
All with fresh arms. I mean, other than Harvey, who just got his Tommy John, but obviously looks fresh. It's a completely different squad. You can't even compare them to the 04 Yankees, in my opinion, because it's just such a different team. It's such an overpowering team.
Oh, my. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
Jose Contreras, Javier Vasquez, Tanyan Sturtz, Paul Quantrill, Mike Messina, who, all right, not bad. Tom Gordon was their reliever. He was all right. Steve Carsey, Scott Proctor, El Duque, Kevin Brown.
Seriously? Come on. Look at that. The Red Sox were probably favored, I think, in that series, no?
The Yankees won the East that year, so I wouldn't think so.
No, okay.
I mean, look at their offense, though. Jorge in his prime. Tony Clark and Cairo were
right.
Jeter, A-Rod, Matsui, Bernie, Sheffield, Ruben Sierra, Giambi, Kenny Lofton was a great fielder.
Lofton was awesome.
Even Enrique Wilson was solid. John Flaherty was a good backup. Homer Bush, a fan favorite. Bubba Crosby, I love.
That's when A-Rod got up, and it's either home run or double, basically.
Yeah.
What it came down to with
that
him,
was his first year with the Yankees.
Yeah. Their offense was a juggernaut then.
Oh, yeah. So you look at them and you say, like...
Yeah, you want me to make a comparison between the 04 Yankees and the Mets?
Go ahead.
Flip the juggernauts. You have the 04 Yankees offense. Look at the 2015 Mets pitching.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we saw in 04 with the Yankees, in my opinion. So if you want to talk about that. But to the 04 Red Sox, I'm sorry, no. They... can I say they got lucky?
Of course you can.
They got lucky.
One stolen... What's this guy's name? The guy who stole the base.
You see how much...
If he got thrown out, Yankees
absolutely.
Win. Who was their Ross?
I don't know. You just can't compare that.
Mark Bellhorn? Here we go. Their pitching was stacked, I will say. Well, not really. They only had Pedro.
Look at this. I'm reading this. This is the Chicago Sun-Times. Do you want to hear what this headline is?
Go ahead.
Cubs find solace in the 0-4 Boston Red Sox comeback.
Because of all
I guess that's a little shot of
hope.
hope you can give to the team because you know they're going to lose.
I mean, the Cubs can't just throw in the towel now. You obviously have to go out there and fight. And who knows, if you do win the next 2 games, you do have a shot. But games 6 and 7 are both at Citi Field. Red Sox roster, though. Varitek, Mark Bellhorn was whatever. Noma, Kevin Millar, Euclid, Ortiz, Trot Nixon, Johnny Damon, Manny, Francona, who's a solid manager, Pedro, Pedro, Wakefield, Schilling. They were not a bad team.
They weren't a bad team at all. And
I mean, obviously they won the World
I'm reading a
Series.
tweet right now. Theo Epstein coming back from a 3-0 deficit. Rumor has it it's been done before, he said.
I
like that. But
that is a good one. I mean, I think
you know what?
What Theo Epstein has to do, he really has to fire up this team. Because Theo's done it before. It's not impossible.
Do you want to know what? In favor of the Cubs now, the Cubs are going to be back here, in my opinion. Because they have a team now that's young.
They won 97 games this year.
Exactly.
This was supposed to
They
happen.
were a wild card team.
Yeah.
It just stinks that they're with the Cardinals
And the Pirates, right?
and the Pirates. So
This was supposed to
gonna
happen
be back
2 or
here.
3 years ago.
if they have the pitch and maybe they can get maybe a good solid 2 or 3 guys.
A lot of guys
over
are
the offseason,
available.
you don't need to tweak their starting lineup at all. Fowler, Soler, Bryant, Rizzo, Castro, Schwarber, Baez, all these young guys that they've been grooming are now here.
Yep.
So if you lose this series, when you lose this series, sorry, I wouldn't be scared. I would not be scared because definitely in the next 5 years, I would not be surprised to see the Cubs in the Mets position right now.
The Cubs are going to be one of the powerhouses in the MLB for
Absolutely.
for a
No
long
doubt in my
time.
mind.
For a long, long time. Do the Mets win tonight?
Do the Mets win tonight?
Who's pitching for the Cubs?
Jason Hamill.
I'm going to go yes.
I'm going to say yes, too. I think Steven Matz has a bounce-back game. He knows that he has to produce because on our show on Monday, if you weren't listening, we were talking about how Steven Matz has to pitch well tonight, or we might see a 3-man rotation. You might have to consider it for the World Series. So Steven Matz pitches well tonight, gives him at least 5 2/3, 6 innings. I don't see the Cubs coming out with a victory tonight. Their bats have just been awful. Yeah, go ahead.
If the Mets win tonight, they will be the 3rd team in MLB history to sweep the NLCS. The 1995 Braves did it, and the 2007 Rockies did it. The Rockies lost the World Series to the Red Sox in 4.
I remember that.
Did the Braves
Imagine that getting
win?
swept after you sweep.
And the Braves won the World Series. They
In
won Game
95,
6
yeah.
1-0.
But if you look at these Cubs bats, Ryan, your leader right now is Dexter Fowler with 273 batting average.
Yeah, wow.
Kyle Schwarber has 2 home runs and Jose Soler has 1 home run. That's it.
That's bad.
I mean, Daniel Murphy obviously has been the spark plug, but David Wright's hitting 364. Yoenis Cespedes hitting 308. Travis d'Arnaud's hitting 273.
David Wright's hitting 364.
364.
That's huge because he and Duda were really bad.
Well, look
in
at
the
it.
division
Murphy's
series.
been hitting 2-run home runs. Guess who's on base?
Murphy.
David Wright. I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's just coming together. The Mets are just outplaying the Cubs, and right now I can see them sweeping. Absolutely.
You know, Duda and Wright were a combined 3 for 38 with 18 strikeouts in the DS.
Really?
Yeah.
So they've really, I mean, Duda not really. He's 167 right now. Hasn't really kicked it up, but still.
Kicked it up compared to last
Still,
series.
he's getting saved by these other hitters. But right now, if you were to ask me if the Mets win tonight, I say if Steven Matz pitches at least 6 innings, you have yourself a W and you can pop champagne.
And Met fans, please start looking at the positives. What Met fans are going to do, they're going to win the World Series. They're going to win the NLCS tonight. Oh no, we have to face either the Blue Jays or the Royals. You beat the Cubs, and you beat who do they beat? The Dodgers. That's how they think. Oh no, the AL champion from last year. Oh no, a team that won 47 games in its last 65 games. Live in the moment. Be optimistic. Stop worrying about Murphy's contract next year. I get it. You want to sign Murphy. You want to sign Cespedes. And who knows what your deal is with Michael Kadire. I know that you want these guys back.
Yeah.
But this could be a once-in-a-lifetime chance. The Cubs have proved it. They haven't been to the World Series in 70 years. And after tonight, probably counting.
Exactly. So you have to savor it. You have to savor this moment.
And that's what Yankee fans don't do. I'm telling you this.
It's New York fans, in my opinion.
That's a good point.
The Knicks, don't even talk to me about the Knicks, because the Knicks are almost like the Mets, and the Yankees are all the same. Everyone looking to the future, everyone finding the negatives out of everything. Why can't there be fans like me?
Like us?
Like me and us and we.
Met fans, we're optimistic. I know a lot of my friends are solid Met fans who are very realistic. But to the Met fans who look at everything so negatively and are more worried about Daniel Murphy's contract than possibly clinching a World Series berth tonight, I'm telling you this as a Yankee fan who has seen the Yankees play in 7 World Series. The Yankees have played in 7 World Series in my lifetime. Scott, do I speak for both of us when I say that once 2013 came, we took those for granted?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was like, what happened? I was looking at all the negatives and everything, too.
Yep.
But, like you said, 7. Well, obviously I wasn't watching baseball, but still, I was alive for 7 World Series trips.
And that's what you get accustomed to what you're used to. You get accustomed to what you're used to seeing. I get it. The Mets got no hit twice this year. After Scherzer's no-hitter, everyone was in full-out panic mode. The Mets lose tonight, you're probably going to be in full panic mode again. Whatever happened to Wilmer Flores, only the Mets, only the Mets. Whatever happened to the Padres in that rainout, only the Mets, only the Mets. If the Mets somehow lose, only the Mets, only the Mets. It's not only the Mets. The Yankees did it also. Just throwing that out there. But I'm telling you, we're telling you this as big-time Yankee fans who have seen the Yankees miss the postseason 3 times in our entire lives. I mean, for me, every time the Yankees made the postseason, I was relieved. Because I went into every season expecting them to make the postseason, but also knowing that it was never a guarantee. Every time the Yankees made the postseason, I was really pumped up, really excited. It doesn't get old, but you can't take it for granted. This is a problem. This could be a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Who knows? Maybe I've seen the last Yankee World Series of my lifetime. Do I think so? No. Do I think that who knows? There are 30 teams in Major League Baseball. So there's a chance that you can not win for 30 years plus. This is the 29th for the Mets. Know what the situation you're in. Be thankful. And enjoy your World Series clincher tonight. Scotty T, you have updates for us?
We ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Little quick ones.
Go.
All right. It was senior night last night for the women's volleyball team as they honored their senior captains Caitlin McIver and Emily Harris, as well as Nicole Herman and Catherine Smart for their years on the squad. Lady Roadrunners beat Rutgers Camden perfect in straight sets, improving to 15-6 and 5-2 in the conference. With the NJAC tourney right around the corner, they will travel to face their NJAC opponent Stockton, who is undefeated in conference play, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Women's tennis posted their 9th straight win yesterday as they shut out Lehman College 9-0. They are now 12-1 overall, and they will wrap up their season this Saturday when they travel to Rutgers Camden. On to pro updates, as we were talking about, the MLB Championship Series can both have winners tonight, as the Blue Jays and Royals are currently underway in Toronto, where the Blue Jays are up 6-0 now at the end of 7. So maybe we might not see the Royals tonight, but
another comeback for the Blue Jays?
Can possibly happen.
Possibly.
But the Mets will look to sweep the Chicago Cubs at their home ballpark tonight with Steven Matz on the bump, facing off against Jason Hamill for the Cubs. That first pitch is 8:07 p.m. on TBS and ESPN Radio. In the hockey world, me and Ryan were at the Devils game last night. We witnessed an OT goal. Adam Larson had the golden goal in OT against the Arizona Coyotes. Devils beat the Coyotes 3-2. They improved to 2-3-1, and will travel to Ottawa tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. The Rangers beat the Sharks Monday 4-0. Goals were scored by Matt Zuccarello, Mark Stahl, Jesper Fast, and Victor Stahlberg. The 4-2-1 squad will face the Coyotes at the Garden tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Tied first with the Rangers at 4-1-1. The Islanders beat the Blue Jackets 4-0 last night. Goals were scored by Nikolai Kulemin, Thomas Hickey, Cal Clutterbuck, and an empty netter from John Tavares. They will get a little break before heading back home Friday for a matchup with the Boston Bruins. WRPR 90.3 FM, you're listening to Beasts of the East with Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson. We'll be back after this, after a few messages.
Ryan Mork, Scotty Tate, Beasts of the East. What song is this?
Make You Miss Me, Sam Hunt. Sam Hunt's my favorite right now.
Okay.
I literally downloaded his whole album today.
All right, not bad.
I don't know if I downloaded it legally. However.
That's not a good thing to say on the radio.
However. Anyway.
You'll be all right. So now we got to move on to football. A lot of Mets talk, which was solid. And if you want to bring up the Mets again, 201-825-1234. That is the phone number. The Giants played on Monday, and that was one of the worst Giant games I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with yeah. How do you go from scoring a touchdown in your first drive looking smooth?
A great drive.
Yes, we're definitely going to win. We're going to shut up the Eagle fans. You don't even get near the end zone, I don't even think, the rest of the game. How many consecutive times did they punt?
8. Their last
Brad
8
Wing,
drives were punts.
You don't have to do leg day, buddy.
Oh, wait, just steal my tweet from the other day.
What?
I tweeted that.
Sorry if I don't particularly look at your tweets.
Wow.
But yeah, Brad Wing, you don't need to go and do leg day.
Giants drives on Monday night. Touchdown on a great drive.
Awesome drive.
Unbelievable. 8 plays, 80 yards. Interception, turnover on downs, pick 6, fumble, punt, 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 punt.
God awful.
That's terrible.
The offensive line could not hold back the Eagles' defensive line at all. Eli, I guess, doesn't know how to scramble either.
Oh, well, we've known that since the day he got drafted.
But even move a little bit, you're supposed to move away from the guys in black, Eli.
Totally off topic, but how's this rock candy? Is it good?
What?
Is this rock candy good?
I had the blue one. But he has the pink one. That's breast cancer awareness. Good job.
It's like bubblegum.
Anyway. No, but just miserable.
Going back to that game, the Eagles were atrocious. Atrocious.
They didn't even have a good game. Sam Bradford, I think, had as many turnovers as Eli Manning, maybe.
Yep.
Because every time you saw the defense punch the ball out for a fumble, Landon Collins had his first interception of his career, which was a great interception. Defense was creating chances, I might add.
The Giants had so many opportunities. I think it was you who said it. I was pumped up at that Landon Collins touchdown, and I was like, "That's a big momentum swing." And you're like, "Ryan,
I didn't.
They've had 20 momentum swings."
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it the way I did because Ryan actually got really pumped. But I was like, nothing's gonna happen. They've had 10, 12 momentum swings. Yep. Third downs, flags. Stops on third downs, flags. Punts, you're getting flags. It's just, this isn't the Giants team that we've seen these past 3 weeks with these three wins.
You know what the game changer was?
Good.
The DeMontre Moore penalty, the roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Roughing the passer, it was more like a RKO out of nowhere. If we had that soundbite, I'd play that right now, but I don't.
RKO, he picked him up and dropped him. Awful. And it's just, comes down to...
He really had a bad game.
Yeah.
He was... committing dumb penalties.
Coughlin was yelling at him. They were showing it on camera.
Celebrating when he's down 24-7. He does that dance where he's like,
yeah, I know.
Going
I know what
off.
you're talking about. But look at the situation the Giants were in. 3-2. You're on three-win streak. You go into Philadelphia, and you can walk out, sort of breaking away, peeling yourself off of that tight NFC East race, and then you play the Cowboys next Sunday, and you just drop the ball completely.
Yep.
Now you're tied for first again. Well, technically you're not.
No, the Eagles are in first place right now.
The Eagles are in first, but they have the same record. Yes. But still, you could be facing the Cowboys. You could be going 5-2, and you could be solidifying yourself possibly a 2-game ahead of everybody else.
Yep. Monday night was their chance to really say that they were a threat in this division.
Now look, Des Bryant might be coming back this week.
Yep.
So who knows what's going to happen going forward, but the Giants definitely have to bury the football on this one and not look back to this game at all and say, listen, that's not the team we are. Eli, that's not who you are. Defense, I'll give you a little bit of a golf clap because you guys did do a good job of creating turnovers and trying to...
How many points did the Eagles' offense score? 17?
Maybe.
Because one of them was a pick six.
Yeah. DeMarco Murray ran for a touchdown. Riley Cooper had that throw, which was an awful throw.
Awful throw, terrible defense.
No, not terrible defense. That could have been. That was like placed perfectly. You saw them.
It was who like
Landon
jumped
Collins
up.
ran over, and then I think Merriweather jumped up for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was 17 points.
Yeah. So yeah, really good game for the Giants defense. That's why I played Bradford in fantasy over Cam Newton because I thought the Giants defense would implode, and they made Bradford. I mean, Bradford really is not very good.
No.
But the Eagles right now are in first place in the NFC East, and Monday night was the chance for the Giants to say we are a threat in this division and take a game and a half lead in the division.
Yes.
Because the Cowboys are 2-3, the Giants would have been 4-2, and the thing is, I'm not too mad because I picked the Giants to lose this game. I said that the Giants would be 3-3 at this point in the season. But what ticks me off is the fact that the Giants are this close to being 5-1. They lost game 1 terribly. We all know what happened. Game 2, not as bad, but terrible. And then Monday night, all of their losses have been miserable losses that they could have won. And are the Giants a 5-1 team? No. Are they a 4-2 team? I don't think so. Let alone a 6-0 team. I think the Giants are a 3-3 team. But right now, they are 3-3 when they shouldn't be.
Like you said, the way they're going about the losses that they have taken are awful on all sides of the ball. It's not like they were close games and the other team beat them. They beat themselves. Sam Bradford had 3 interceptions. The one we saw where Merriweather actually caught it like a wide receiver. It was that bad. He launched the ball, and he had to catch behind his back. Sam Bradford did not have a good game. 280 yards and a TD. That's all right. But Eli, 189 yards and a TD.
Yep.
With Odell Beckham, who was not even... Was he even targeted in the second half? Once. He had 7 catches for...
I think
how many yards?
He had to have been hurt.
Okay, still. The ball he threw out of bounds.
Yeah.
He was 4 paces off of Byron a healthy Byron Maxwell.
Wow.
The guy wasn't that hurt. Right. Obviously, he would be off the field if he couldn't play.
Yeah.
But you don't target. That's why I have such an issue. We've been saying this the whole time. Why are you not targeting Odell Beckham Jr.?
And you know what I say all the time? If you're going to lose, I say I would rather lose by 20 than lose by 1. Because no matter how much you lose by, it still counts as 1 loss.
Absolutely.
No matter what, whether you get no hit or if a perfect game is thrown against you, it's 1 loss. But what bothers me again is the fact that these are 3 games where they could have and should have won. Because I picked them to beat the Falcons and they lost that game. I picked them to lose against the Cowboys. I picked them to lose against the Eagles. But now they could be 5-1. In the division, 5-1 overall, and 2-1 in the division. Now they're 3-3 and 1-2 in the division.
Obviously, they have a chance to play these teams again. However, this is a big momentum downshift that they had. That coming back from 0-2 is hard enough. You get 3 straight wins, you think you're on cloud 9, and you just drop the ball against, of course, has to be the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, I was getting texts from my Eagles friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys suck. Blah blah blah. You guys didn't have a good game either. You just capitalized when you had the chances.
Unlike the Giants.
It's just going forward and looking at the Cowboys game, Ryan, because I'm leaving this Eagles game in the past.
Yep.
If Eli Manning does not throw for 300 yards and 2 TDs against the Cowboys, I'm not a satisfied Giants fan.
Nope, I agree.
Because I need to have my captain quarterback going after this god-awful secondary that the Dallas Cowboys have. If Odell Beckham does not have a touchdown and over 100 yards, I am a non-satisfied Giants fan, in my opinion. This guy's been underutilized throughout the entire season so far, and he's your best player on the field.
Yep.
Makes no sense to me.
And you know what? I saw a really good stat the other day. As much as we trash the Giants' offensive line, entering Monday night, Eli Manning has only gotten sacked 4 times. And again, that has to do with the new offense. He has a lot of quick releases now.
Yeah.
But Eli, he threw the ball, 54 times against San Fran? I think that's how you beat the Cowboys. That's how you beat any team. Because Eli Manning is a borderline Hall of Famer. People do make the argument that he's elite. Do I think so? No. But people make the arguments. He has the numbers. I think he has the numbers. He doesn't have the skill. We've talked about it before. I think it's only Brady and Rodgers are the 2 elite quarterbacks because Eli makes some really dumb decisions sometimes. There are times where he throws underhand. There are times where he throws lefties when he just needs to take the sack and just fall on it. That's where his IQ comes into play. And at the same time, it looks like he invented the sport of football. But at the same time, not so much.
Well, going to throwing left-handed and underhanded and trying. He's obviously not trying to lose the yardage.
Right.
And the Giants against the Eagles did not need to lose any more yards than what they were doing because the run game got awful. Giants can't run the ball anymore, plain and simple. You have guys like Rashad Jennings who is reminding me a little bit of Brandon Jacobs, the way he runs. He runs hard, but you need a seam. This offensive line is not creating any seams for this team, and you don't have Le'Veon Bell or DeMarco Murray who can make those cuts and do everything. You have Andre Williams and Rashad Jennings who are your power backs who are going to get you yards on the ground by running straight through seams. The Giants can't do that anymore, so it comes to the passing game, and there's a lot of extra focus on Eli Manning because he needs to produce through the air.
Running stats from Monday night. Jennings, 13 carries, 63 yards, 4.8 average. His longest was 14. Eli
had a 12-yard run.
12-yard run. Andre Williams, 5 carries, 6 yards. His longest was 3. Average 1.2. Shane Vereen, 4 carries, 0 yards, but he had a 4-yard rush.
They can't run.
They can't run the ball. And that's why Eli has to throw 40, 50 times against his Dallas Cowboy defense.
Exactly. And again, if Odell Beckham does not have at least 10 catches, I am a non-satisfied Giants fan. At least 10 targets. He's not even targeted anymore. I don't get it.
Because
you see Ruben Randle catching the ball and dropping to his knees.
Yep.
And Dwayne Harris catching the ball and dropping to his knees. Odell Beckham catches the ball, spin move, quick stutter step, and 3 guys are going after him. That's what I like to see from a receiver. I'm sorry, but they're missing Victor Cruz so much because he would
because his yards after catch is insane. Not comparable.
He would do the same what Odell Beckham's doing.
Yep.
These receivers, they're just mixed up like we saw when Nolan Carroll had that pick 6. Ruben Randle slipping. That's what caused that. He was supposed to draw his cornerback off.
And it was still a pretty dumb throw by Eli at the same time.
You're targeting Dwayne Harris and Ruben Randle, who have not, they've been there literally for 2 hands and 2 drop. They're not creating plays or creating chances for this Giants team, and Odell Beckham Jr. is trying his hardest, even when he's hurt.
I think Eli targeted 9 guys on Monday night, but
he did.
Odell, Randle, Harris, and one other guy have 5 or more. And I don't even think Odell had I think Odell had 9 targets on the day. Odell Beckham Jr. is arguably the best receiver in the league, but Eli and the Giants are not giving him the opportunity to show that.
No doubt Odell's top 5. I think Larry Donnell has more yards after the carry. I'd rather give the ball to Larry Donnell because he puts his head down and runs through people.
He can't catch the ball, but...
Do you remember when Ruben Randle caught the ball, was not touched, and stood where he was?
I know.
Do you remember that?
I know.
They blew the whistle. I don't even know the refs. It just makes no sense to me. You're a wide receiver. You're supposed to be gaining yards, creating plays.
Yep.
This guy caught the ball on a quick slant, fell to his knees, was not touched, and got up and stood there.
You know what's funny? Martavis Bryant, last week,
Killed
Sunday night, first game, his first touchdown. It was one of his 2 touchdowns.
Did you tweet this the other day?
Yes, I tweeted this morning, this afternoon. Ruben Randall has 46 yards after catch or something like that. Martavis Bryant on 1 touchdown in his first game of the season because he was suspended for 4 games, and I don't know why he missed the 5th game.
More yards after the catch.
He had like 75. Ruben Randall, and it's funny because like you look at the stats, and you see people who have like -2 yards after catch, and like in single digits, under 30. But those are 3rd-string receivers, 4th-string receivers, people who've been. I looked at total stats, qualified and non-qualified. Mm-hmm. And then you have Ruben Randall, who has like 46 yards after catch.
And he's supposed to be your number 2 receiver right now.
Ruben Randall's a number 2 receiver who has not missed a game.
No.
Think about that. Think about that. Guys who have been playing 1 game have more yards after catch on 1 play. And people, 3 or 4 receivers who have played in 3 games on the year have more yards after catch than you.
Ruben Randall, if you're at MetLife Stadium this weekend against the Cowboys, I want to see you getting yards after the catch. I don't even care if honestly, Ryan, I don't care if he fumbles. If he fumbles trying to run through someone or trying to create a play, okay, fine. But that's the game.
Yep.
Congrats to the defense on that. But it's I don't get it. How can you fall and stand up knowing you didn't get touched and just go like this with the ball?
I don't know. I don't get it.
Makes no sense to me.
He was probably hurt on Monday also, but this is consistent for Ruben Randall.
Yeah, it was when he wasn't hurt either. The Giants were, when they cut Preston Parker, were sending a message, I think, to Ruben Randall saying,
you got to step
up. You were
up.
dropping passes too. And when you caught the ball, you did just fall on it.
Yeah, Preston Parker being cut was not a sign that in which Victor Cruz was close to ready.
No.
It was a sign to other receivers saying, do your job.
And
you know what? It kind of falls on Eli and whatever the play call is by McAdoo. Because they're targeting everyone equally. You can't do that. Sure, no. Is Odell getting double and triple teamed? Yeah, but you have to target everybody.
Double and triple teamed. We saw against the Eagles.
Yep.
He was one-on-one with Byron Maxwell.
Yeah.
Byron Maxwell was holding him
every time.
The whole time. Keep throwing to him. That's just more yards for you. It makes no sense. I understand, yes, share the wealth, do that. But when these guys aren't creating plays, when they're just catching the ball and falling, if that, it just makes no sense. That pick 6, you were targeting Dwayne Harris. You weren't targeting Odell Beckham, who was one-on-one with Byron Maxwell on the right side.
Mm-hmm. You brought it up before. Let's do a quick preview of this weekend's Giants-Cowboys game as we have about 300 seconds left. It's 5 minutes for those of you who are not good at math.
I actually kind of thought about that a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no problem.
Like we said, Eli has to throw the ball a lot because the Giants cannot run the ball.
I see at least 40 attempts.
I would hope.
At least.
I would hope. You got to feed Odell. Ruben Randall has to do something. Giants defense stepped up last week. Let's hope they can do it again.
Matt Castle.
Let's hope Dez Bryant doesn't play.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Because it's Matt Castle?
But Matt Castle, again, Matt Castle has been a starter. He's been with the Vikings and the Chiefs.
Took the Patriots to 11-5 the year Tom Brady got hurt.
Boom. Matt Castle has experience. He knows what he's doing. Credit to Jerry Jones for putting together, Romo, Whedon, and Matt Castle. Those are starters. Mm-hmm. Whether they have bad records or not, Matt Castle is a starter. He knows what he's doing. He has the experience. So I think the Giants edge out the Cowboys. I think it's going to be 27-24. That's my prediction. I think Eli's definitely going to throw more. The rush defense with the Cowboys has gotten a little bit better, but I think a big factor is stopping Greg Hardy.
Yep, I have to hope that the Giants have learned from their mistakes. I have to hope that Ruben Randall and Odell do something about this. And you know what? The Giants should have won in Dallas in Week 1. And Absolutely. That was a fully healthy Dallas team.
So if you are not pissed off at your home field because you know you should have beaten this team.
A healthy team. Now they stink.
I wasn't even thinking about this, Ryan. Now I'm getting a little heated. This is a must-win for the Giants because if the Cowboys come back, when Tony Romo comes back and starts making a run, and it comes down to you lost to the Cowboys and you were 0-2 against the Cowboys, and that beats you in the division.
And the Giants already have 2 division losses.
I would be absolutely incensed. Absolutely.
Yep.
So this is a must-win for the New York Giants on Sunday, and they better come out with some fire.
I'm going 31-24 Giants. That's my prediction.
Full touchdown? Okay.
Yep. All right, we got about 3 minutes left. We got to talk about the Jets before we get out of here. Nice win on Sunday. We can't really review the game on Sunday. Did I say Wednesday? Yeah, I said Wednesday. The game on Sunday. Washington stinks. The Jets are a solid team. Let's look forward to this game on Sunday. The Jets usually play well against New England for whatever odd reason. Revis going back to New England for the first time since he went back to the Jets, I should say. Tom Brady obviously going to be fired up because he's Tom Brady. He gets fired up when he kills a fly. But I think the Jets have a very good chance of winning this game because if the Jets win this game, they are in first place. And that is going to be in the back of their minds. I don't think the Jets will win because I think the Patriots are the best team in the NFL. George and I were saying before, they have a very good chance of being undefeated. In all seriousness, they really do.
It's reminded me of a lot of 2009, to be completely honest.
Yep, but the Jets are a very good team. Brandon Marshall has been unbelievable. He's the first Jet receiver since 1968 with 4 straight 100-yard games. No Jet receiver has ever had 5 straight. Think about that.
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall is this year probably top 5 or 6 receiver. Eric Decker has solidified himself as a solid number 2, especially since he was their 1 last year. And Chris Ivory has been unbelievable. The Jets are 4-1 right now. If they win this game on Sunday, they are in first place in the AFC East.
Ryan, plain and simple, you said it all. It's a very, very crucial game. It's going to be a very fun game to watch as well. Who's playing Sunday night this week?
I have no idea.
Let me check this right now. Because shame on whoever created the NFL schedule for Sunday Night Football. Because the Jets and Patriots should be Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Eagles, Panthers is going to be Sunday Night Football. Yes, the Panthers.
Not a bad matchup. 2 first-place teams.
I'm sorry, but if you look at the preseason, we were saying that the Jets are a lot better team. They picked up Leonard Williams. This is before the whole Geno Smith thing. This was going to be a bout between the Jets and the Patriots. Yep. So I think that should have been a 8:30 game instead of a 1 o'clock game. But this is definitely a game to watch. Defense, they got to step up.
If the defense plays well, then they can win this game. Because really, what does Dion Lewis do?
A lot.
Really?
Dion Lewis, I think, has a lot of yards after the catch. Kid's got hands. And it's just, you have the Cromartie and Revis definitely have to step up against Edelman and Amendola.
Before we wrap it up, prediction for Jets Patriots.
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say that the Jets win 21-20.
I think Patriots stay undefeated. I think it's going to be a very close game. And I think we're going to see what the Jets are really made of.
Absolutely.
I think whatever happens to the Jets on Sunday, that is the true definition of the New York Jets. Unless if it's a completely lopsided game.
Definitely. Look for Chris Ivory to definitely have another stellar game.
That's Scott Thompson. I'm Ryan Morick. Thank you.